there's like an entrance lobby to this medical place. The doors are covered in COVID, COVID, COVID. If you're ill in this way, we don't want you. Stay away if you're ill. Anyway, the lobby area was empty, and there was a locked door at the end. So I had to sort of ring the bell, knock on the door. And I sort of said, I've got an appointment for such and such time. I'm way early. And she said, oh, okay, yeah, can you just wait outside for 5 minutes? And I said, right, well, rather than be in the foyer, I'll be outside. Let's do the distancing thing. Let's stay away from people. I was feeling like death. I wanted to be out. So I went and sat outside. Time passed. Other people came and went, and I had a conversation with a couple of people who were there for blood tests, whose appointment times were after me. And they were all getting taken straight in. They were all getting, and I'm sat outside still waiting, because the woman had said, "Well, can you wait outside, please?" Eventually, yes, eventually I thought, this ain't right. And there's a queue of people waiting to speak to the woman at this locked door. So I just walked past all the people in the queue and went to the sort of head but one of the queue. Right, I'm stood there trying to butt in, trying to sort of look apologetically at all the queue, and there's with a mask on, and there's an old guy. There's an old guy there talking to the woman at the door. I don't know what he wanted, but he was after help. He'd been on the website. He couldn't make sense of all of that, and he tried phoning up, and it was all that, X number of people in the queue couldn't get through, all of that. So he'd actually gone to the surgery. He'd gone there seeking help, medical help. He was turned away. That was, there's a cruelty going on here, isn't there? Is that place even fit for purpose? Do no harm. There's a man there, an old man, gone to the doctor asking for help. They turned him away. I witnessed that. Anyway, I butted in, and they sort of, we should have. Anyway, they didn't realise I was still there waiting, so they called me in. Everybody that was after me went in before me. Eventually, I had me blood tests. It was a 5-minute job. The lady who actually did it, very nice. And I'm out of there. She took quite a bit, actually. It was, I sort of joked with her, look, I need a test for everything. I was hoping for a flipping COVID, have I ever encountered COVID tests. Not am I live with it now, but have I ever encountered it? I was hoping that they were going to do one of those, and I thought she'd sort of indicated they were going to. That never happened. So I'll never know if I've ever had COVID. Probably not. So did me blood test, came home, and just carried on being really unwell, like I have been for a month. Right, 18th of September. That's the day after the blood test. They tested whatever test they did pretty quick. On a phone call from the GP. She had concern over raised eosinophils. That's apparently white blood cells of some description. Apparently very raised white blood cells causing her concern. Trouble with those things, if you, like you do these days, the minute somebody says something like that, you're bang onto the internet, onto YouTube, researching it all. And the trouble with that, these particular white blood cells, anything and everything under the sun can cause raised white blood cells of that type. So it proved absolutely nothing. What she knows, I don't know, but there was a certain, with those, she was concerned. She even said, this is the 18th of September, she even in the conversation sort of said, as long as you're okay, I don't think there's any point in rushing it today. And it's like, bloody hell, you're taking some notice now, are you? So it was agreed that I would wait. Again, another hurdle to get through, with absolutely no help whatsoever, with all of these symptoms and all of this coughing and lack of sleep, all that, the hell of it. wait another weekend, and on Monday the 21st, go into Torbay Hospital to a particular unit to have further tests. So I spent that weekend, going through hell, just trying to make the Monday, Of course, I in all of what's happening here, all of this distress I'm going through, and all of this bad health and stuff, my only concern is Bear, poor old Bear. What to do? I came so close to just having to pick up the phone and grab an ambulance, but I couldn't because of Bear. What do I do with the Bear? I can't leave him alone. I can't just get taken off and perhaps not come back. And so I was starting to really panic about the Bear situation. I need some sort of safety net for Bear, so that if something does go horribly wrong, if I do suddenly cease to be able to cope with all this, I can pick the phone up and have somebody take him away and ensure that he is taken care of forevermore. There's nobody. Anyway, Nigel, the guy who came and got him with me, what a friend he's turned out to be. What an amazing chap. He said he agreed he would come and bear sit for the Monday that I was due to go into the hospital for tests, because I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know necessarily that I was going to come back home again. At least, if Nigel was here, it would, Bear separation anxiety, that would be kind of covered. You could keep him nice and calm. And if the worst came to the worst, then Nigel would have had to have stepped in and organised something for Bear. Heartbreaking stuff I'm going through here. He's my best mate, he's my child, he's everything to me, Bear. Absolutely flipping everything. And I just need to know that he's going to be okay. I need a safety net of some description. It's a major dilemma, this is major problem for me. Anyway, Nigel came and he said he'd bear sit for that Monday. So, I'm up at the crack of dawn, a couple of hours sleep that night. Loads of, being unwell. I was out at the crack of dawn. What a sunrise that was. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful sunrise. I was out before it was even light. I should have taken a torch, but I didn't think. I came back and come about 8 o'clock in the morning. I got home to find that Nigel was already here, actually. Credit to him, he got up at the crack of dawn and he was already here. So with no further ado, I left Bear in the charge of Nigel, and jumped in the car and drove to Torbay Hospital Medical Receiving Unit, Forest Ward, for about 9 o'clock. I just parked in the car park, whatever the cost, who cares by now. And all face masks and all of that, eventually found the place. It was into the main entrance, along a corridor, up a flight of stairs, and mill around a bit, and there you are. I found it. I was just delighted to find the place, because it's an absolute war and a maze, that hospital. It's just huge. And anyway, I found this, and it turns out there was like a reception desk here. And the first thing that happens, some woman on the reception desk, I don't know if she was in charge of it or something, she starts having a go about, I shouldn't have come in that way. I should have come in this other corridor here. I just walked down the corridors and followed the signs and found it. I was just pleased to be there. Anyway, I was sat in a corridor for 10 minutes, and then a couple of nurses started doing the thing took me into a room and started doing that where they put a tap in your arm so they can take blood and leave it in there in case they need to. I had one of those stuck in. They did the oximeter thing on your finger, which I said I've actually bought one. Where have I put it? I left it upstairs. I actually bought one off Amazon, so I could keep track of my oxygen levels and heart rate and stuff. I'll probably come back to that. But yeah, I'm in this room. Nurses started attaching lots of sticky things. They did an ECG and not a huge amount else actually. I can't remember. At some point, an awful lot of waiting around. A little bit of activity, then just waiting around for flipping ages doing nothing. Absolutely agonising. After you've had only 2 hours sleep that night and stuff. Agonising, and coughing and spluttering. No, the ironic thing about the Torbay Hospital thing, almost the entire time I was there, I was hardly coughing at all. What's that about? You know, the very time that I could be usefully coughing and showing how bad I am, wasn't happening. Anyway, they did whatever test they did. At some point, a doctor, and you know, it's all face masks and all that, all of us. How they can work like that, God, you got to give them credit. Anyway, at some point, a doctor came in and gave me a sort of thorough interrogation, more than an examination, but she listened and tapped and can you feel that and feel, you know, a general sort of, you know, what state are you in type thing. And at some point, at some point I actually gave her my notes about, you know, how things had worked out, the times, what had happened when. I actually gave them that. To refer to, and they actually took it away and allegedly found it useful. I sat around for flipping ages, and then finally somebody came to wheel me down. I could quite happily have walked, but I was wheeled down, like they insist on doing, for an X-ray. They took 2 frontal X-rays, 2 because apparently it's common with being a smoker, I have enlarged lungs, and they couldn't get them all in one picture. So it was like, you know, top bit and then oops, the bit that they couldn't quite fit in. So 2 X-rays, but no side X-ray. I was disappointed by that because of the possibility that I might have fractured a rib or something here. The pain of which I still have, even now. You know, we're end of September when I'm filming this. Anyway, so yeah, I'm in the hospital having X-rays and all that, and then it was a case of just go and sit in this like waiting room, which was, I couldn't believe how dirty it was. I was very surprised. There was lots of like spills and stuff, and dirt around the place. I was quite surprised by that. Even had a cleaner come in at some point with a mop and try and wipe some of it away. It's basically a waiting room where people are given drinks and biscuits and stuff. So yeah. But I was surprised by that. Anyway, I sat there for hour after hour after hour just looking out the window. Just waiting for them to come back and tell me something.